One thing I love about Pensacola is how diversified it is, not only with ethnicities, but also with religions. And you're not going to hear me talk about politics and religions and things like that. I did want to talk about our Jewish community. I always want to bring you what it's like to live, sleep, eat, party, hang out, work, raise a family here in Pensacola or along the Panhandle. And I think today's video is important, so stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome to the channel. This is Living in Pensacola, Florida, and my name is Tim Ekelund. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hey, we got a different video for you today. I wanted to do a video on how thriving our Jewish community is because my sister-in-law is Jewish, my niece, my brother-in-law, my brother. I think we have such a huge, thriving Jewish community. Before I moved here, when I came and visited, I thought it was interesting because there was a church and an attorney on every corner. You know, I've never seen so many churches, either Baptist, Apostolic, Episcopalian, Catholic, Christian, Jewish. You know, there's so many different things and so many different temples and places for people to praise. Today, what we're doing is we're down at the Shabbat Center on 12th Avenue here in East Hill, and we're meeting with Rabbi Mendel. So let's go check it out and see what he has to say. So I'm sitting here with Rabbi Mendel, right? And I apologize if I didn't get that accent correct. So thank you for sitting down and chatting with me. You know, the point of this video is to let people know if they're moving here from, you know, anywhere in the country or the world. I mean, we've had people get on here from Australia, different parts of the world. So wow. If they're looking to move here and looking for a community that has a well-established Jewish community, I think Pensacola has a very well-established Jewish community. You know, at least from what I see. You know, I have some great friends that are Jewish in the community. And so tell me a little bit about the Shabbat Center and, you know, other communities or other parts of the Jewish community here.
Sure. So, I mean, Pensacola has a very sweet Jewish community. It's not very large in comparison if you look at Atlanta or New Orleans or New York. Right. So obviously over there are tens of thousands of Jewish people. Over here in Pensacola, there is maybe 1,000 Jewish people throughout town, maybe 1,500. But it's a very beautiful Jewish community. It's very warm. Everyone gets to know each other pretty quickly.
Right.
So I moved here about 6 years ago. My wife and we moved here. I'm originally from Sweden.
Oh, wow.
My wife is from Israel.
Cool.
So we were living in New York before we moved here, right in the heart of Brooklyn. So you got every Jewish amenity that you can imagine.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting you say that because I remember the first time I went to New York and got in the airport and I saw Hasidic Jews, right? And I was forgive me for saying this, but at that time I was into
Matisyahu.
Yeah, Matisyahu. So I was familiar with that look, but I hadn't seen it in person. You know, I grew up in Phoenix and the Hasidic Jew population isn't that popular there.
Correct.
So that was really interesting getting in and seeing that. It was really cool to see because you know New York is such a melting pot of everything, right?
Absolutely.
So what brought you from New York here?
So we are actually part of a worldwide organization called Chabad.
Okay.
And Chabad essentially it's a community, but it's also an outreach network where there are over 5,000 Chabad centers across the world in all 50 states and 112 countries. I grew up in Sweden because my parents were running a Chabad center over there.
Wow.
I have friends who run a Chabad in Kathmandu and in Chengdu, China,
wow.
and in Hong Kong. You name it, you'll find. My brother-in-law just opened the Chabad in Zambia, Africa.
Wow.
So it's everywhere. But the idea is to create a space where every single Jew, wherever they are, no matter in what country, what background they have, or affiliation or education, they should be able to come and feel welcome and part of the Jewish family.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually the inspiration and the vision of this was by who was called the Lubavitcher Rebbe. The Rebbe, he was the Chabad leader and he lived in New York.
Oh wow.
And it's actually the anniversary of his leadership. It's today.
Wow, cool.
So he had this vision that it was after the Holocaust. It was 1950, where Jewish nation was really in a bad spot then. And the Rebbe had a vision that every single Jew, no matter where they are, should always have a place where they can come and, without any judgment, without any preconceived, should be able to come.
Anything.
Exactly, should be able to come and just be embraced for who they are.
And it should be like that for everybody, white, black, Asian.
Oh, 100%.
And you know, it's so growing up in Phoenix and coming here, the culture and the diversity here to me is so different. You know, no matter if it's a higher black population, Jewish, Asian, any of that kind of stuff, you know, and this is, you know, things obviously change over time, but the population of certain things in Phoenix weren't as much as I come here, and, you know, the black population is a lot more here than it is in Phoenix. You know, we have a smaller Latino or Mexican population here than we do in Phoenix. And so it's really, really neat to see that. And I think it's awesome that you did this, because I think it's really important. Now, outside of the Shabbat Center, what are other areas or temples and things like that people
so
can
actually
come to?
there was actually a Jewish community here for about 140 years. The
Wow,
first actually the first temple in Florida was started in Pensacola.
Wow.
In 1876, if I'm not mistaken.
That's cool. That's something I didn't know. There you go.
And down on Chase Street. So that building at one point burnt down, and then they built the new temple, Temple Bethel, which is on the corner of Palafox.
Yeah, and Cervantes, which is beautiful. It's really big. I know that they're last couple of years they've been updating that and painting it, and you know it's really really pretty. Great location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very central. For some reason, I feel like all the synagogues are in this part of town, towards the downtown area.
Yeah.
There's the B'nai Israel Synagogue, which was a synagogue that started a little bit later, and that's on 9th Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, but those both of those, the temple and the synagogue, really are, there's a lot of people who are affiliated and their families have been in Pensacola for, you know, many years, and they are connected to those institutions. When we came here to connect with the Jewish people who are unaffiliated, who are not connected necessarily to their heritage as much.
Yeah.
And
especially someone that might have moved here from Atlanta that was used to a bigger community.
Correct.
They can have this. So now, how do people find you if they are moving here and they want to get some information on, you know, either this center or just connecting to the Jewish community?
So obviously in today's day and age, everything is online.
Yeah.
So of course our website, which is, you know, the basic place where someone can go and find out about, you know, the ongoing events and so on and so forth and what we're all about. That's ChabadPensacola.com. ChabadPensacola.com. CHABAD Pensacola.com. But then of course Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You know, we try to have a very strong online presence, especially with the younger crowd. You know, whether it's young Jewish professionals, whether it's teens or college students at UWF. You know, we want to stay relevant, right?
Right.
So it's definitely important. I'm myself as a millennial. You know, social media is the place.
Yeah.
It's where it's all happening, and you know, very active Instagram and Facebook and so on. We have classes that I upload onto YouTube, and people, you know, get to watch them and study over there. You know, we have to use our technology for positive things. There's so much negative that happens online. We have to make sure to utilize the powers of technology for positivity and be a strong voice online.
Now, as a rabbi, is it just you here? Because like I've told you, the other rabbi, I see him at the Y. How many rabbis are part of?
So essentially, it's my wife and I.
Okay.
We run it together. I'm the rabbi. She's what's called the Rebbitzin.
Okay.
It's a female. Together we started the Chabad Jewish Center, and we run it. We have student rabbis who come here periodically for a few weeks or a few months at a time. So that other rabbi was one of the student rabbis. Who was more of a junior rabbi who helps out with, you know, there is so many Jewish people here. It's hard for you know, one or two people to be able to be in contact with everyone. So, you know, and there's different events, there's all different types of initiatives going on, whether it's for college students or young professionals or children. So, you know, we try to cover all the bases, so to speak, so that everyone should be able to feel comfortable when they come into Chabad, so they can have their space where they connect with people of their age group, similar background, and so on. So there's always people and volunteers who get on board to help out with
and you guys do a lot of event stuff. You were saying, you know, today's Friday, that there's stuff that goes on Friday and Saturday here. Do you guys do holiday events, things like that?
Yeah,
so if someone comes here during Hanukkah or something like that, they can come and
absolutely. On Hanukkah there was
spin the do you guys spin the dreidel,
the latkes, donuts?
Yeah. So like I told you, my sister-in-law is Jewish, and so they lived here for a little while, and it was really cool. One Christmas and one Hanukkah, we went over there and lit the menorah with them, and we did the latkes and all that stuff, and the dreidel. It was really cool. Yeah. It was really neat. So
actually on Hanukkah, there was like an event every single night, right?
Oh.
So there was, and then there was, of course, the big menorah lighting that we do downtown on Palafox Street.
Oh, wow.
Right in front of the old courthouse. So there was a big 9-foot menorah with hundreds of people.
Wow, that's so neat. So if you're looking for something to do, if you are part of the Jewish community, come here and check out, not only here, but check out the different events that go on. I haven't seen, I'd love to be part of lighting the menorah. That's really cool. That's really neat. So anything else that you want to tell anybody about you guys and what y'all do here? And
absolutely. I mean, our vision, and this is really the purpose of our living in Pensacola and starting this center, is that, no matter who you are, and no matter the background of the individual, everyone has a mission in this world. And essentially the mission of every individual, no matter Jewish, not Jewish, everyone in this world has a mission to make this world into a better place. And that's really what we have to do. So by acts of goodness and kindness, by being kind to others, by taking
being a good person, being a good friend, a good husband, 100%. A good father, a good mother.
Right. Yeah. And as a rabbi, I'll add, there is being good because society, encourages it, but then there is being good because God told us to be good.
Yes.
And that's a very important part of it because, not stealing, not hurting others, not being cruel to animals, if we do it just because we understand it, well then, we become a little bit biased, unfortunately, sometimes of ourselves.
Yeah.
So, but when we have it, it's a ironclad rule that God told us you should be kind and you should not hurt others. So then it becomes much more impactful and much more real. And that's definitely something which we all have to work on ourselves.
Yeah, and when I first visited here, I thought it was crazy because there was a church or an attorney on every corner.
I think they say Pensacola has most churches per capita in the whole United States.
And I think that's one of the neat things about Pensacola. We talk about the diversification, but also not even just with ethnicity, but even religions. I mean, I had never seen so many Baptists, or apostolic churches and things like that, and Episcopalian and Jewish temples, and there's so many different things here, right, which is really, really neat.
I always say, because Pensacola is a military city, at least to an extent. So we have it's a miniature melting pot because you have people from all over the country who come and end up living here, and you get all different styles, all different backgrounds, all different religions, and so on. But thank God, I mean, it's been an amazing experience living here and making a lot of friends, neighbors, acquaintances, and so much love and respect. And that's what we love in Pensacola.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And if you're coming into town, make sure you come check out the Chabad Center. Or I don't say it exactly correct, but come check them out. It's a welcoming area. We're right on here on 12th Avenue, right kind of in the heart of East Hill, right across the street from the old East Hill, old Sacred Heart Hospital, which is really cool. But thank you again.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, God bless.
Awesome. Cool, man.
All right.